Hi guys, it's just readvi and welcome back to my channel. If you're here, I'm so thankful that you are here. Obviously you're here if you're watching. Thank you for coming. Today I am doing another review, and the book that I'm going to be doing in this video is This Bitter Earth by Bernice McFadden. And this book was a phenomenal book, like all of her others. I haven't read all of her books, but the ones that I have read have all been amazing, nothing short of it, and I've never been disappointed. So yes, let's get into this review. What was this book about? So This Bitter Earth was about a former prostitute finding herself. This is part 2 of Sugar. Sugar I read last year, and as you know, I'm doing this 100 book journey for the year. Super excited about it, and I am not going to be, I can, but it just kind of gets in the way of what the books I'm doing now, and that would just be a whole bunch of reviews. So this is part 2 of Sugar, which was also phenomenal. That was her first book, novel that she's written, and it was really good. So part 2 now is the continuation. Part 1 ends with Sugar being raped by kind of like her pimp Lappy. His name is Lappy, and he not only raped her, but he was trying to kill her. He is not a known murderer, but in this book it became known that he was responsible for a string of murders in the town, and he raped her and cut her womb. So he sliced her up and like cut her womb out, and it was just horrible. So that's how book 1 ended, Sugar. And now book 2, This Bitter Earth, is about her finding out about her mother and her father and how they were, and her grandparents, her mother's mother, and why her mother gave her up, and everything of that sort. It was just phenomenal. Written very, very well. I'm really impressed. Okay, so that's really what it was about. Yeah. Likes and dislikes. I really don't have any dislikes about this book. The pace of it, let's get into that. The pace of it moved very well. It was smooth. It was, I wouldn't say fast, but this book was a page turner. You didn't want to put this book down. I know I didn't. I read and I read and I read and I read. It was just phenomenal. And every time I thought that I could learn more about a character, I was wondering when I was going to learn more about it, or is she going to put this in here? Is she going to develop this a little more? She definitely did that. So I was very impressed. You know, I learned more about Lappy because I was wondering why he was who he was. I learned about his father, his mother, other murders that he did. I started to piece things together also, because she writes such a good story that you kind of put stuff together like, I wonder if he was responsible for that too. And as the story goes on, you're like, wow, this is amazing. This is like extraordinary writing. She is phenomenal. Can everyone read this book? Absolutely. This book, it isn't for the faint heart though. Anybody that's reading Bernice McFadden's books, it's not for the faint heart. She writes with a realness, a hardness, a trueness, a sadness that I've never read from anybody else. I've never ever experienced it anywhere else. It was amazing. I'd like to say she dug deep, but I've read several of her books and it's the same in all of her books. So she definitely doesn't disappoint. But there is a sadness in all of her books, but it's the realness from the sadness that she really taps into, that just makes it amazing. It's wow. Does this book hold up in these times? Absolutely. Although it was an older time, you still feel the way she writes, you still feel it. And the reason why I would say it holds up in these times also, in these times also, is because who doesn't know of a rapist? You know, who doesn't know of a murderer, of people, of crimes unsolved, serial killers, serial rapists? So it all ties in. It's very relevant. So yes, I would definitely say that this holds up in these times, although it wasn't written that recent, I would say. Would I recommend this book? Absolutely. I would recommend this book to anybody. It was a great read. Overall, 5 out of 5 stars. Get into this book. It is amazing. It was amazing. Nothing short of it. Definitely didn't disappoint. Like I said, questions that I had from Sugar, because I was like, you gonna leave me hanging? And reading this book, I was like, wow, you didn't disappoint. I'm so glad there was a part 2. I'm so glad. Yeah, she is just phenomenal. If you don't know about Bernice McFadden, you need to look her up right now. You need to read as much books of hers as you can. I'm on a quest to read all of them. That's how amazing and exciting she is. You don't want to put a book down. So definitely, definitely, definitely a read. Like, subscribe, and comment. If you read this book, comment your thoughts about it. Your thoughts about it, if you agree with me, whether you don't agree with me. I want to hear from you. So definitely like, comment, and subscribe.